So you decided to take the plunge and now you're gonna go purchase a condo. Congratulations, that's amazing. So today we're gonna be discussing 15 tips to look for when you buy a condo. Hi, I'm Natalie Alhadef and I love teaching about real estate investing, and making it accessible for everybody. If that sounds like your jam, please consider hitting the button below and subscribing to my channel. So let's dive into it. Tip number one, you're gonna want to buy on the top floor or the bottom floor. Think about it. Nobody wants to be sandwiched in between top and bottom floors. It's the noisiest units, and you want to create the most privacy, the most quiet in a unit. That's what people buying condos are looking for. So top or bottom. Now, as I say to all my clients buying houses, homes, condos, it doesn't matter what their price point is. You don't get everything on your wish list. So I'm hoping for you, out of these 15 tips, you will pick up something and take it away and get some of them. But you're probably not gonna get everything on the wish list. Whether you're at a $300,000 condo or a $3 million house, you don't get everything on your wish list. So let's be realistic. Think about trying to get 80%. There's no perfect spouse, there's no perfect house. Okay, so we talked about the top and bottom floors. Now, if you can't be on the top floor or the bottom floor, the most desirable units, the best floors are gonna be closer to the top. So if there's 5 floors, the 4th floor is gonna be better than the 3rd floor, and so on and so forth. So another thing, especially with COVID-19, you're going to want to buy a condo with some sort of private patio or outdoor space. Like, it's really, really important that for someone to be able to go outside and get some fresh air. I personally would not buy a condo without some private outdoor space. Second best thing to private space is public outdoor space. Sometimes they have beautiful rooftop or some gardens that you can take to walk your dogs. So look for that. That's really important when buying a condo. So what is the number one rule of real estate? Location, location, location. And you might think I'm gonna be saying something, but I'm not. It's location in the building. So while you're buying your condo, think about the location in the building. And what I mean is a corner unit is more desirable than someone sandwiched in between 2 other units, again. Or just think about the quieter points of the building. Not facing a busy street, but being in the back where it's quieter. So that's a big thing when purchasing a condo. You might not be noise sensitive, but when you resell, or your tenants might be noise sensitive. So keep your ear out for noise levels and see if you can get something quieter. Along those lines, brightness is important. So try and buy something where there's a lot of natural light. Corner units tend to have more windows than interior units. Along those lines, you want to look at the view. What's the view of? Sometimes it's another apartment building, sometimes it's a brick wall, sometimes it's the trash. So you want to buy a condo that has some sort of view where you're looking straight out into the street, or straight out where there's not a block of a view. You might not be able to get an ocean view, although that would be nice, but some sort of view. Number 6, layout. This is subjective. This one is, you can take it or leave it. But sometimes the most popular layouts are when the 2 bedrooms are separated by the living space. So that's something you may want to consider. Along with that, unit mix is important. And what I mean by that is 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms. Now, if you live in Manhattan or LA and you can't afford a 2 bedroom, don't worry about it. A 1 bedroom is just fine. So when you're thinking about 1 bedrooms, think about who can live in a 1 bedroom. So you definitely can have a single person. They can have a spouse, so 2 people, a couple. And then they might have a baby, and so 3 people. But after that, it's kind of tight and they'll probably move out. So you might not have this long-term tenant for a 1 bedroom. Now, as opposed to that, a 2 bedroom, you can definitely have a couple, a single person, a couple. You can have 2 roommates. You can have a couple with a baby. You can have a couple with 2 babies. And I have a tenant who's been living in a 600 square foot condo for 5 years, and they started as just a couple, and now they have 3 babies, so 5 people, and they must really like it because they're still living there. So it's just more room to expand. So for me, I would say and look for a 2 bedroom, 1 bath condo would be the minimum that I would look for. Number 8, upgraded features. This is really important. Most people, when they're buying a condo, always tell me, I don't want it to feel like an apartment. And how do you get that non-apartment feel? Upgraded features. So upgraded bathrooms, upgraded kitchens. This you don't have to worry about because you can do that on your own. But something that's really important is a washer and dryer in unit. I personally wouldn't buy a unit without washer and dryer in unit. Again, if you live in Manhattan or wherever and it's not common, then don't worry about it. But it's very, very important, especially for families that have small kids. They definitely want that washer and dryer in unit and will pay more for it. The other ones are parking and, crown molding, things like that. But definitely try and look for that washer and dryer in unit. Another one is laminate floors. You need to check out the HOA documents and HOA rules if you're allowed to put laminate floors in. Nobody likes carpet. Nobody likes carpet. Nobody likes carpet. So you want to have the option of putting laminate floors in your unit eventually when you either rent it out or you plan to sell it again. Now, density is important too. So the more units, not so good, the less units, the better. So people enjoy having a smaller community versus one of those big 100, 200 unit condo buildings. Not to say that they're bad, it's just less desirable. Number 11, HOA fees versus amenities. Typically, on average, most people would prefer less HOA fees and less amenities. People don't typically use the pools and the tennis courts and all that stuff. If that's something you want and you're gonna use, then go ahead, go for it. But in general, people aren't using the gym and the pools and the tennis courts. It's better to have less amenities and less HOA fees in general than more expensive HOA fees. Number 12, this is a deal breaker for me because when I look at condos, I want to be able to have the option to rent it out. So you need to check out the HOA rules and your realtor can help you with that right away. Know if the HOA allows for rentals. Sometimes you're not even allowed to rent a room in your own unit. So you need to check that out. And a lot of them don't allow for Airbnbs. If these are some things you want to do, you need to know ahead of time before even putting in the offer even. And the realtors will know that information. Some stuff they will not know, but it's important once you're in escrow to understand and look for. So those three things is one, the rental ratio. In general, it's better to have more owners than renters, and depending on your lender, they won't allow you to take out a loan if there's more than 51% renters. So you need to look into that, but you'll find that out once you're in escrow. But you need to look at the reserves. This is really important because if there aren't any reserves, then if there's a big problem such as a roof leak or a sewer break, then there will be a special assessment because there aren't any reserves to pay for it, and the HOA fees are going to go up because they'll have to pay for these new roof or sewer repairs because there weren't any reserves in the budget. The final one is lawsuits. Again, this is something you'll find out in escrow, and the lender won't lend on give you a mortgage if there are lawsuits or litigation. So that is something you will find out in escrow, and is rare. It's not like everyone's having lawsuits, but that is something that is a deal breaker for most banks and mortgages. And those are my top 15 tips. I hope that was helpful. Next week, we're going to be talking about real estate investing and the pros and cons. So please hit the notification bell, and I will see you in the next video.